pretty tough situation. They fought their tails off. So, obviously, I don't know what the numbers are, but we didn't get very many stops on defense, but we didn't score enough. So we tried everything to keep ourselves in the game, and didn't get it done.
Yeah, Justin, obviously missing a lot of guys on the defensive side, the secondary, but it seems like the problems were all across the defense. How frustrating was it just not to have any answers on that side of the ball?
I mean, it came down to we were drawing stuff up in order to get people in the game. I mean, I've never been a part of anything like it in terms of having no safeties, and we couldn't, and we were better at corner health-wise this week, but some of those guys hadn't practiced, and we couldn't get anybody else ready to play safety, so we ended up putting Tisdale in there to play man on the tie. I mean, it's just almost not even like football. But it is what it is, and that shouldn't excuse everybody in the other spots for how they played. But how you fit the run game. Well, first of all, I'll say this: North Carolina is explosive on offense, obviously. And, if you can't fit the run game, I mean, you're at their mercy. They can do whatever they want. And, we weren't able to get it done. And then, we're obviously down several people, and it got pretty rough.
Mike Nozzle.
Yeah, Justin, with the quarterback situation, obviously Braxton gets the start. How do you think you handled it, and why did Hooker, you go to Hooker in the second half? You kind of put us kind of in on your decision-making process with the quarterbacks.
We knew we were going to play Hendon early. He had one series early, I think. I can't remember. But we decided to put him in the second half and let him go.
And with the youth in the secondary, I mean, was Jamari Connor kind of the worst-case scenario there with the targeting call? I mean, when that happens, how much did you guys have to scramble in addition to kind of what you had to go through before the game?
Yeah, I mean, certainly. I mean, you've got Diablo, Jenkins, Jamari. We lost Peoples in fall camp. Hunter's out. And, you got Nadir going in there who has been out almost all fall camp, but came back last week to play corner. And you throw him in there. Nike Hawkins has been out all fall camp. You couldn't get the corners ready during the week to go play safety because you didn't have most of them. So, I mean, it's just that's not, the worst thing a coach can do is get up here and give a bunch of excuses. It's still our job to find a way to get the job done. But, there comes a point in time where you don't feel like you're giving the guys a chance because there's nobody left. I mean, we put Jermaine Waller in there at nickel. He's playing with one arm, goes down. Everybody's booing because he think he's trying to slow their offense down. They're in the 4-minute offense, and I mean, well, he's the only one left, So, anyway, I don't know. I'm not very happy right now. I feel for our kids because I believe, they're working their tails off, and it just was a tough situation, I guess.
David Teal.
Justin, what was the explanation on the illegal shift that cost you the touchdown to turn?
We moved the back while Trey was in motion. I mean, it was a good call. We all knew it was coming back as soon as it happened. So.
Norm.
Nope.
You attribute some of the missed tackles to just some of the inability to get some consistency with some guys, like you said, in practice and work guys in and out. Is that? I know you said you don't want to make excuses, but that perhaps would be an explanation.
Yeah. Well, I would say obviously we did not tackle well, and that doesn't just fall on one position. We did not. We can use that. We can use a variety of reasons for that. I mean, part of it is, they've got skilled players. You're going to miss some tackles against those guys, but there's other things at play in there too, I think, that contributed to it, certainly.
Gene Wong, do you have one?
Yeah, hey Justin, I mean, you've referenced not having enough guys in the back end there. Yeah, you're down 21, you're down 25, you rally back, you cut it to 5. Just what does it say about the fight of the team to be able to do that?
Well, and I hope you guys don't. I mean, I probably should cool down a little more before I come in here. I'm just hurt for our players. They played so. They tried and battled through really such adverse conditions the last 3 weeks, and showed tremendous resiliency and toughness. And I thought it was especially on display tonight. I'm the last thing I am is upset at our guys. I'm really proud of how they continued to battle and try and find a way. I mean, how about Brian Johnson with the onside kick and makes the long field goal, and just to find a way to give us a chance to be in the game there to start the fourth quarter.
Mike Nosler?
Yeah, with the run game, I mean, they put up 21 pretty quickly, but Herbert only gets, I think, 2 carries in the first, through the first 20, 25 minutes. Did you feel like you didn't establish them enough early, or just didn't get the chance, or was that just kind of the
Well, I mean, we didn't make any first downs. I mean, he ain't going to get any carries if it's 3 and out. I mean, that's the way it was. So, I mean, he's not going to get 20 carries if we're punting every 3 plays. So, I mean, I didn't like the way we started the game in any phase. Like we didn't start the game very well, obviously, on defense, and we darn sure didn't help ourselves out on offense any. So, sure, I would love to have gotten any more carries. I'd love to have run more plays and gotten more first downs. I think that would have helped.
Norm?
Justin, I know one of the guys who probably has to hurt the most is Justin Hamilton, making his debut in first active defensive coordinator role. Did you have a chance to chat with him after the game momentarily, and what was sort of his reaction to this?
Oh, J.M. knows how I feel about him. I haven't talked to him after the game. I talked to him during the game several times. We've worked some offensive guys on the defensive side of the ball, and we started talking about doing some of that, and I think that's what led to putting Waller at nickel and getting 3 linebackers and just trying to find something. I mean, we can't just sit back and watch the same thing over and over again. We got to try to do something, and I don't know. I've never been a part of anything like that where you're in that situation. And, we have repped some guys at corner mostly because it's a little bit easier to play, and that's where we've had the issues until this week. So.
Andy, did you have a follow-up? Anyone else? David Field, you do have one?
I have one if nobody else has one.
Go ahead, Mike.
You mentioned you've never been a part of this. Is this a situation? I mean, you want to play every week, but I mean, how tough is that to have to send out a team where you don't think you have the right kind of complement of players? And did you missed all those quarterbacks last week. This was worse than that?
Well, I will say this, and I don't mean any disrespect to anybody we've played, but this team's certainly able to highlight those things a lot better. I mean, just being honest and realistic, and I'm not comparing teams and all that kind of stuff. It's just we played against a real offense today with explosive skill players that are going to play, on Sundays, and that has a chance to highlight where you're struggling a lot better than maybe some other ones.
David Teal?
Justin, when did you learn that you were going to be so depleted at safety today?
I'd say it's about like we've always had. It's just been kind of through the week, it certainly wasn't this morning, but,
Okay.
As we went through the week.
Andy,
The problem is, like, several of those guys that played today hadn't practiced. I'm talking about at other positions. You know what I mean? Like, they're back, and we're playing them when they haven't practiced. I mean, that's not good.
Andy, did you have anything else?
Yeah, Justin, is it just a matter of getting those guys back and being able to practice, or is there something you have to change about practice in terms of more tackling or more contact? I know it's a balance you try to strike with all that stuff.
Well, I'm certain that them being there would help. You know, continuing to work on fundamentals and making sure that we are gap sound. I mean, we have done a few things in the run on the defensive side of the ball. I think people have seen it the first 2 weeks that, you know, maybe helps us in the pass rush department, but is not as good against some of the run stuff. You know what I mean? You're going to give up some yards occasionally running the football because of it, but you know, I mean, we'll have to take a good look at who we've got and do the best thing we can to try and piece it together. Hopefully we'll be in better shape heading into next week.